One of really the most important composers of the 20th century.
He's very famous for incorporating the folk songs into his music.
It's so rhythmic a lot of the time. It has incredible rhythmic intensity.
Let me get another beer. Is,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, anyways, we have this great program coming up. 28th of February, 29th of February. It's a great program of masterpiece orchestral works from the 20th century by Stravinsky, Bartok, and Ravel. You're playing the Bartok Concerto, the Viola Concerto.
I am, yes.
Very exciting. Very exciting indeed.
A little scary too, but
that makes it.
Yeah, probably the biggest viola piece that I know of.
Yeah.
At least.
Is it the most demanding of the viola concertos?
It's at least our biggest concerto, the most famous one, and I think the most demanding one in many ways. It's also an unfinished piece.
Right.
As you know, it was not. He didn't finish the orchestration. He wrote, I think, most of the viola part, if not all of it, but he wrote some of the harmonies. It's pretty fun to play it because you have to choose in between different editions, and you can do your own.
So is it open to interpretation enough that we could just ask at any point in the rehearsals, like, oh, do you think the bassoon, could you play that cello line instead?
Yes, I mean, you're the conductor anyway. You can do whatever you want, I think.
Might be difficult to get away with that.
Yes,
but what about his music is so unique to him?
I mean, he's extremely famous for all the research he did in the folk songs in his country, in Hungary, but not only in Hungary. He went to Turkey, and as far as that, Romania, of course, a lot of Romanian songs. And in my opinion, is probably one of the most underrated composers, in that he dared to create really his own language, which is quite unique.
You don't think Stravinsky did as
much?
He
did, but Stravinsky worked more with the orchestration and the timbre of things, more than the language, I find.
As opposed to the actual music itself, the musical material.
Which I love as well. I'm not saying it's less good or anything. I love the way that he started. He wrote, Stravinsky wrote pieces that were like Baroque music pieces, and then classical period. Bartok, no, not really. He just went straight to his own language and tried to refine it and more.
Something that I don't think people always associate with Bartok, which I find really prevalent in a lot of his works, is this very soulful quality, very sensitive, very lyrical, very song-like. So you're the principal violist in the Calgary Phil. I would say most people watching this video know what a violin looks like. They know what a cello looks like. What is the viola?
Well, the viola looks very much like a violin. It's slightly awkward to play, I guess I would say, compared to a violin, because it's a little bit bigger or much bigger depending on the size of the instrument. In register, it's in between the violin and the cello. So there are 3 strings that are similar to the ones the violins have, but we have a C string, the lower string, that violins don't have.
It's the same strings as the cello, right?
The C, but it's one octave higher. The viola used to be the most popular instrument, actually in the 16th, 17th century, And the reason why it was so popular is because, from what I understand at least, is that from the Gregorian songs, or the male voices, the viola was the closest in register. And so it was a very popular instrument until the violin took
over the world.
Took over the world, I guess we liked
what can you do?
Brighter things and shallower things later on, I guess. But the timbre of it has something that is truly unique. And sure, the violin is amazing, the cello is amazing, they're all beautiful. But I find the viola to be something quite different in that it is very, personal, I guess.
Stravinsky loved to drink. So
do I.
cheers. Cheers to Stravinsky, Bartok, our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very appropriate that we're at the James Joyce Pub on Stephen Ave because James Joyce was born the same year as Stravinsky in 1882. Same year also as Virginia Woolf. And I think that's cool because Stravinsky and Joyce and Woolf kind of all had this similar impact on their respective art forms in terms of developing the idea of like what modern music or modern literature would be. So there we go.
Yeah, go on.
Come to the concert.